want romanticism, but nothing too flowery. Add to that more diversity too, and you've got the ethos of Virginie Viard, Karl Lagerfeld's former right-hand woman, and now the creative director at Chanel. The label's presenting its ready-to-wear collections for winter 2020 to a pared-down backdrop in Paris's Grand Palais.
I really like the fact that Virginie Viard was able to highlight her ultra-feminine rock and roll side in this collection. It was wonderful.
White, black, slim, voluptuous, modern musketeers swashbuckling into a new world in their pirate boots, a world where opposites have not been erased but integrated and recognized. It's a shame then that for the moment it's only women's wear.
Us men, we want to wear Chanel too.
And yet in the audience, some men are already wearing the brand's iconic tweed suits.
That's the very definition of fashion, the ability to adapt, being able to go forward with the world and perhaps even go a little further ahead than where the world is now. I think Chanel's always understood that, and even if it's a fashion show, there is a philosophy to it, a link to our society and a perspective about the world that's expressed through a catwalk show, and they do that really well. I like it.
Olivier Roustains followed that principle to the letter in his show for Balmain.
What I love about Olivier is he always creates silhouettes and designs that really accentuate a female's body while also kind of like empowering the masculinity within her as well. He has a very delicate balance between feminine and masculine, and I really appreciate that.
It's less about being outrageous, more about harmony and serenity. Olivier Roustains drew from his memories of a Bordeaux childhood. As a mixed-race child adopted by a white family, he was fascinated by the bourgeoisie and tried to crack their codes.
A bourgeoisie that breaks down those codes. Not the exclusive, snobbish bourgeoisie, the opposite of that, the class of people that moves with the times, who are open to others. France is a coded society in that being chic sometimes means being a snob. It's about not being able to let go and sticking with prescriptive social codes. So the idea is to put an end to the hypocrisy of a diktat that decides what is chic and to have more of an open mind.
Naomi Campbell's new protégé, Kenneth Ize, has also gone back to his roots. The Nigerian designer lives between Vienna and Lagos, where he works with local craftspeople to produce aso oke, the traditional Yoruba fabric.
I guess African fashion has been there before I was born. We just never got into it. I'm part of the diaspora. I'm part of what I've lived in 2 different continents and I've experienced 2 different lives. And I guess I'm old enough to just experience my feeling out there. And it's who we are,
Reflecting his introspective mood, Thebe Magugu opted not to stage a catwalk show, but to place his pieces within an exhibition, showing the universe that he created them in, the township of Ipopeng in South Africa.
I really just wanted to document the people and places who sort of raised me, and who sort of serve as my earliest references. So the masks reference the Khoisan people, who were one of the earliest sort of inhabitants of the area within the region of South Africa where I'm from, and they all have very high cheekbones, so the masks are quite cultural and historic in that sense because they reference a very important people.
Issey Miyake is no longer directly involved in the creations that bear his name, but he does supervise their conception, encouraging the young designers who carry the brand's international DNA in unique, witty silhouettes made from high-tech fabrics.
Paying tribute to the diversity of people and of clothes is a way for me to express the joy and the pleasure of designing with my team for Issey Miyake. I designed these clothes so that they may be worn by all types of people all over the world. That's a positive message for the future.
Wrapping up this Parisian world tour of cultural diversity, Yohji Yamamoto, a master of asymmetrical cuts, the Japanese designer's known for clean lines, a palette of blacks, and at 76 years old, he's an icon of clear-sightedness.
I speak very frankly. Is that right? Very frankly. Yeah. Recently, as far as I'm continuing making fashion show in Paris, I'm losing my rival every year. Important creator is disappearing.
Why?
Because of age, maybe. Azin Alaya, Karl Lagerfeld, they all passed away. So I feel started lonesome. So this time, especially, I found my rival in 19th century because I feel so lonesome. If somebody feels very lonesome, people become very kind to other people because we are lonesome.
A tribute to diversity, plurality and rebellion, a common thread among creative spirits regardless of their age or country of origin.
Liberté, égalité, actualité.